Now, as you may have noticed, BBC News has moved into our new home at Broadcasting House in central London. After more than 40 years of news from Television Centre, we're making a little bit of television history today with the first BBC One News bulletin to be broadcast from what's now the biggest and most high-tech newsroom in Europe. Nick Higham reports on how the technology of television news has changed.
In the Commons, Mr MacLeod has said that the London busman's pay claim...
BBC News 1950s style. No auto cue, hand-drawn maps and graphics, a black and white business that relied on laboriously processed news film. Then, around 1980, the switch from film to video, a revolution.
And the fighting after it was, if anything, fiercer than it was before. Everything changed in the early 80s with the arrival of the handheld electronic camera. And the marvellous thing about that was you didn't know how to process it, you could edit it in the field. So people like myself, we had this wonderful sense of freedom. We could be thousands of miles from this sort of editorial hub that you see here, and we had to be trusted.
There was a second revolution too. Originally, news film shot abroad had to be packed up and sent unprocessed by plane, arriving a day or more late. Satellites changed all that. But today, even satellite trucks like this could be replaced by the internet, broadband, and smartphones.
We've got sandbags against the doors.
This live interview last year was broadcast using just an iPhone. Now the studios too are at the cutting edge, largely automated and computer-driven.
For the first time, we are broadcasting in true high definition, and we've got shiny new studios that are bright, they are airy. For the first time in a long time, we've gone back to having a real newsroom backdrop.
That newsroom is Europe's largest. Impressive, certainly.
It reminds me of a sort of battery hen factory with electronic add-ons, but I'm sure it's going to produce some wonderful news. What matters is the people, really, but not the machinery.
Well, here to explain a little bit more about those changes and our new state-of-the-art newsroom is Nick Higham, right behind me there.
Yes, indeed. Here it is. It's absolutely enormous, and it's the base for 2,500 journalists. It brings together the BBC's television news, radio news, online news, and for the first time, BBC World Service and 29 language services as well. And at its heart, this news desk, home news that side, foreign news that side, and fanned out around it, desks at which are working producers and editors are working at all of the various different bits of output. So you've got television news bulletins there, got BBC World Service there, BBC News Channel over there, the online news desk over there. And it's part of a £1 billion project, 6,000 staff working here in a new headquarters for the BBC alongside its iconic 1930s headquarters. Got all the latest technology, as you'd expect, and some old technology too. Some of us still read old-fashioned newspapers. They tidied that table up, I notice. Journalists, of course, very messy people. And at the back of the room, the galleries, as they're called by the BBC, the studio control rooms. This is the control room for Studio E. Barry, the director, outputting this very programme, and this studio and gallery will be home in the future to the news channel and to all the bulletins on BBC One. Sophie.
Nick, thank you very much. Time now for a look at the weather. Here's Louise Lear. Hi, Louise.
Hi there, Sophie. Well, I tell you what, the Great British Weather trying desperately hard to upstage our new look BBC. I can't believe it. Good old wet winter is refusing to disappear. We really are keeping a tight grip on it. The springtime starts in just a couple of weeks with the spring, a couple of days with the spring equinox, staying cold, bitterly cold winds, and there's more snow in the forecast. Now, if we take a look at the satellite picture, you can actually see that across northern Britain we've got a significant amount of cloud here, and that is producing some snow. To the south of that, though, it's sunny spells and scattered showers, I suspect, through the afternoon. But a strong easterly wind making it feel bitingly cold up here. And yes, even some of that snow will start to fall at lower levels. More on that in just a moment. Down to the southwest, though, sunny spells and a few of those showers fairly slow moving due to the light winds, but temperatures generally around 6 to 8 degrees, still disappointing for this time of year. A wintry flavour perhaps across the Pennines, but chiefly of rain across northern England and into southern parts of Northern Ireland. Cloudy skies skies here as well. As for Western Scotland, still rather breezy here, but all the emphasis really across eastern Scotland. Those bitingly cold winds driving in some snow, and as temperatures start to fall away through this afternoon and this evening, we'll even see some snow at lower levels. We could have as much as 5 to 10 centimetres of snow perhaps at lower levels before the system clears away. Even more, maybe as much as 50 centimetres to the tops of the hills, and that will certainly cause some problems. So with the strength of that wind, there will be some drifting. Amber warnings are in force. Be prepared for some problems perhaps during the course of Tuesday. So it's going to be a cold and wintry start up here. Further south, the showers ease away through the night. There will be some icy stretches and maybe a little bit of mist and fog around at first thing. But we start off on a slightly quieter note here. The emphasis all up into the far north and east. That snow across eastern Scotland, perhaps even as far south as Northumberland through the afternoon. And again, the strength of the wind drifting that snow around, so there will be some issues on the roads. Elsewhere, that quieter theme, 6 or 7 degrees, but add on the strength of the wind further north and it is going to feel very raw indeed. Those temperatures saying 2 or 3 degrees, but feeling much, much colder. As for Wednesday, a bit of a messy picture really. A wintry flavour still in some of those showers, some sleet and some wet snow. The best of the sunshine, South Wales and the southwest, but still those temperatures a little disappointing. I suspect Thursday will be the best day of the week. A transient ridge of high pressure takes over, a cold and frosty start. But look at this area of low pressure starts to move in from the west, and that, as it bumps into cold air, could mean snow. What a spoil sport.
More snow. Louise, thank you very much. Now, a reminder of our main story this lunchtime. Regulating the press after the phone hacking scandal, a last-minute deal has been reached by party leaders, but there's still debate over whether or not the system will be underpinned by law. There'll be more on that story throughout the afternoon on the BBC News channel, but now it's time to join the BBC's news teams where you are. Bye-bye.